Good morning, millennials, and welcome back to the Toast. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for choosing to spend the day with us.
Thank you so much for that. And for a myriad of other things. Thank you to everyone who's already gotten tickets to our Atlantic City Gizno show. Girly Swirly's Night Out is coming to the big city. Not New York City.
Not the biggest city.
Not Las Vegas.
We actually are coming to New York City, so thank you to those girls who we will be seeing this week at the Beacon Theater.
But to Atlantic City, which if you know, you know. Like, you know this show is about to be unlike any other. I feel like we're entering our showgirl era.
Oh, okay, it's giving burlesque.
Don't you find that's the energy that we need to bring?
I don't know. I feel like if I were to just sort of describe the phase of my life that I'm currently in, it would be that dreadful scene in burlesque where Cher has her solo.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I feel like that's very Gizno coded.
I feel...
What burlesque movie musical scene do you currently feel is emblematic of your life?
I feel like Diana Agron, The Angry Fiancé.
Diana Agron, the angry. Oh my God. When she like storms into the forlorn apartment and they're like sleeping in the bed. Honestly.
Like everyone else is singing and dancing and I'm like busy.
I know you're like working like in New York, like, trying to provide for your family. Literally that Diana Agron being in burlesque, I feel like is very reminiscent of one of the stories we're going to talk about. Like one of the most random things where like someone's in this like big movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's very Jennifer Hudson and Sex and the City coded.
I knew that's what you're going to talk about because I knew that that's what we're talking about.
We have good stories today.
But I do think that when we're planning our Atlantic City show, like we should just go through it through a lens of like showgirl, burlesque.
Showgirl,
just something.
Should we wear like nipple tassels? Is that what you're suggesting?
Like, matching showgirl costumes.
I'm so down.
I think that's what Gizno needs.
I agree. And like, if we're going to keep adding Gizno shows, we're going to need to like just be coming up with an outfit. Like I cannot keep finding dresses that like fit, that are reasonably priced, like that are like snatchio. Like I can't keep buying dresses. It's really not sustainable.
No, it's crazy that it's hard enough to buy a dress for an occasion, but now we've needed like 8 party dresses that suit our shape, that are cute and fun. We're doing a great job, by the way. I'm only down one dress. Like I don't have a dress for Thursday night. I have a dress for Friday night. Because I'm getting my haircut on Friday and I need a haircut in order to wear my Friday night dress.
I only have one Beacon dress as well. And we had thought we had thought like, let's share. I went into Jackie's closet. We actually have like, we are the same size now, but we have such different shapes and like we go for completely different silhouettes. So like the dresses that I tried on for you, like I looked horrible in. Like they didn't work for my body.
It's so personal.
Also I have to say, like when you're ready, like I'm ready to have a costume made one time and wear it to every single show.
Well, maybe it starts with Atlantic City with our showgirl costumes. We could be like Kylie and Kendall at the Met Gala, except like fat and short.
Sure. That works for me. So not only do we have Jennifer Hudson in the stories today, we have the Ballerina Farm update that I think no one's talking about, but they should be talking about. And that's just the nature of the internet. Like this thing goes viral and everybody's like literally coming up with stories in their heads about what's really going on in this woman's life, that he's an abuser, an oppressor. She's an abused woman who can't speak out. And now there are updates that provide a lot of context and a lot of color from the author herself. No one's talking about it. We are going to talk about it. A second article came out and a podcast episode came out with audio recordings from her actual day spent with Hannah. We're going to talk about that, like consumed my day yesterday in addition to the Olympics.
Yeah, no, you felt very vindicated by that.
I did because, we actually didn't even talk about this on the show. We talked about it at our live show. Oh my God, we got dragged for our take on Ballerina Farm. Like, of course, Jackie and I are critical thinkers and we are more often than not, and I said this when we recorded, our opinions are colored by our own experience and our definite thoughts. Like I'm automatically going to go into any sort of scenario like hating the journalist and liking the female influencer.
Just because what they want for you is to do the opposite.
Right. So
sheep.
I can own the fact that I came in biased, but I felt like my opinions were valid. And oh my God, do I feel vindicated? And now knowing what we know.
But you have to bring that bias to counteract their bias, just so it's an even playing ground.
Knowing what I know now, if you go back and read the comments from our episode, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday of last week where we like talked about the article at length. Oh my God, people are so crazy. Like I just...
Did the comments for any second like make you feel like maybe
I was wrong,
misguided in our take?
No, because sometimes people will like disagree and they make fire points and that's like tough because you're like, oh shit, like that's actually a really good point. I didn't see any fire points being made.
You just like didn't like having not that we're ever the popular opinion.
It was the unpopular opinion.
Sometimes we like take the hard path, but people are like, yeah, Jackson Claude. But then you didn't get that. But now you're gonna get that.
Yeah, I just feel right, which
So my question is, did you ever feel for a second like you might have been wrong?
Well, maybe there is a world in which like Hannah from Ballerina Farm is living in a crazy abusive home. We wouldn't know that. And I think based on what we were given in terms of like what the article was shared, what Hannah shared with this lady, I didn't think that we can't just assume and then if you say like, well, the people are like, well, of course she's going to say that she loves her life. Like she's living with an abuser. Okay, well then maybe I'm living with an abuser. Everyone, right. Like we can't operate.
You could say that about anyone.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what she's really going through. Maybe she's in abuse. Like, okay, we can't operate like that. Like a person is over here saying she loves her life. She chooses this life. And it's amazing. Like, I'm going to choose to believe that. I'm not going to assume everyone is lying because they're living in an abusive household. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into it. But I want to talk about the egg apron too, which we didn't talk about on this here episode. So we'll get into it. Is that the first story?
Yeah, it is the first story. So just table that for a second. Because also last night we recorded. I feel like I was just sitting here with you.
Oh my God, we were.
Claudia and I did a little late night sesh for the Patreon.
A little sesh. It's like when other people say sesh, they mean like getting high. When we say sesh, we mean doing Dear Toasters on Patreon.
Doing a podcast episode. We did a full Dear Toasters episode. I addressed my thoughts on doing such an episode. And just a spoiler alert.
Do you feel misunderstood?
I feel so misunderstood. I hope I made myself understood on the episode. Just so you know, the episode to do a whole Dear Toasters episode was my idea.
1,000%. You keep talking. The lights are bothering me. They look uneven.
They're. I feel like we've given up on making this studio like something to look at. We are moving tomorrow. This is our last show in this studio, Claudia. So it should be really super ugly so that people appreciate whatever comes next. We are moving tomorrow, so tomorrow's episode will be audio only. This is our last show in this studio.
I meant to say that this was our last video episode we would be recording in this forlorn corner.
It hasn't been perfect.
No, you could definitely say that it hasn't been
but
perfect.
It's been here for us.
When no one else has.
Ours.
It's been ours. I'm so looking forward to never podcasting in this corner again. Although I don't know how much different our new studio is going to be because we have the same equipment, just like a different room.
That's true. Maybe we'll try to, no offense, like screw the natural light.
I know.
Go into a dark corner and be well lit. And
we
just
wanted to have like a Hamptons vibe. So we wanted greenery and like we got it, but at what cost? We're backlit. The lighting has been horrible. Yes, we are going to be in a dark corner and I don't want to hear a word about it from anyone. Like we're just, it's going to be a make it work moment. So enjoy this forlorn corner while you have it. This is your last. Yes, Jackie, you said tomorrow's going to be audio only.
I said tomorrow's going to be audio only.
And there's a new Patreon episode. So it's kind of like we're all winning.
It's a big content week.
1,000%.
I mean, it always is here at The Toast, but somehow it's even more so.
We have a great show. I feel like the stories are meaty today. It's giving chat stew.
Oh.
So I'm ready to dive in. I don't have anything else. Yesterday's Olympics Day was also like, there was no gymnastics on. Men's gymnastics made some waves. They won. I'm happy for them. Pummel Horse Steve, all that I've been following, but nothing I need to really recap. Today's the day. We're podcasting. Perfect timing by the time we're done. The females will be taken to the gymnastics floor and my ass will be on the couch. So big day for us.
We do look like a couple of Olympic tennis players today. Fine. Like, and also I know it's our last day. I think we're looking good. We match each other. It's a very Hampton swirly vibe. I feel like we finally got it together 30 days in.
Oh, I don't feel together like at all, but you look nice.
You look nicer.
Really? I
think
packed all my clothes. I'm just like wearing what I found.
I haven't started packing yet. I'm literally packing for 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'll be doing today.
Yeah. It's going to be chaos.
It's going to be chaos. We're looking forward to like the new energy though.
Totally. Swirly Summer is about to start.
Yeah. It's going to pop off. So without further ado, here are the Fast 5 stories that you need to know for the last time on video in this studio.
And the Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by GNC. So GLP-1 medications are great for weight loss. The side effects can be, tough. So if you feel like that's bringing you back to square one, you can find what you need to stay on track with high quality health solutions from GNC. So if you're on GLP-1, you are obviously eating less. That's kind of like the whole point, but you might be getting fewer nutrients. So of course, eating right is the main solution. Who has time to make a smoothie or a salad for every meal? The simplest way to fill in those gaps is with high-quality multivitamins designed for your unique needs. And GNC has multivitamins and daily Vitapacks to fit every body type. Vitamins that are clinically proven to boost levels of nutrients in the body and proven to work better than a basic multivitamin. They even have a yummy multivitamin powder that can help you with other side effects like constipation and poor gut health. So yes, eating less is obviously the whole point of GLP-1, but I think a lot of times people forget that you still need to get like your recommended daily nutrients. And so supplementing that with vitamins, supplements, shopping at GNC, getting everything that you can need while you're on your GLP-1 journey is super important. I also found that like eating a lot of protein was really helpful for me when it came to like muscle mass and just staying full longer. And they have a great line of protein snacks, shakes, bars. It's called GNC Total Lean. I love it. So find the high-quality multivitamins designed for your needs at GNC. Plus, for a limited time, you can save 15% off all your favorite weight management products when you use our code TOAST15, but only at gnc.com/toast. That's TOAST15. That's the code, and the link is gnc.com/toast. Today's episode is also brought to you by Quince. Very befittingly, I'm wearing my favorite Quince cardigan that's kept me cozy all summer. So shifting our wardrobes from summer to fall is always a challenge. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items that we adore, ensuring our wardrobe stays fresh and that we don't blow our budget. So they've got cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part is that all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They do that by partnering directly with top factories. Quince is cutting out the cost of the middleman and passing the savings on to us. They only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, which we love. Really, what I love most about Quince is like this era when we're investing in less pieces for our closet, but better pieces that are super versatile, very classic, pieces that are really well made that we can have for years to come. And Quince is a perfect place to do that because they have really great pricing, but they also have really great items. I have great, classic black trousers, cashmere sweaters, this cardigan that I love. Everything that I have from Quince, I've had for a while now. It wears really well. It's super versatile. I wear this cardigan all season long. I wear it in the summer. I wear it in the winter. I love it. So make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/toast for free shipping on your order, and you'll get 365-day returns only when you go to quince.com/toast to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/toast. That's quince.com/TOAST. Today's episode is also brought to you by Boll & Branch. They're here to help you never sleep hot again with sheets that are woven to allow airflow and feel cool and crisp to the touch. Perfect for sleepers who run hot like myself. And when you're constantly working on, keeping your blowout intact throughout the week, but you wake up in a pool of your own sweat, how unacceptable that is and how much time that wastes and how much money it wastes on your blowout. Check out Boll & Branch if you, are even remotely inclined to get a little sweaty in your sleep. I am. It's horrible. And I can always tell when I'm sleeping without my Boll & Branch sheets, if I'm at a hotel or something, because I literally wake up sweaty. So Boll & Branch sheets are loved by millions of sleepers. They fit the deepest of mattresses. They are labeled with top and bottom tags, making your bed is easier than ever. Best of all, Boll & Branch gives you a 30-night worry-free guarantee with free shipping and returns on all orders in the U.S. So we've loved Boll & Branch for many years. Jackie and I have the signature hemmed collection. They come in a ton of different colors. I actually recently made the transition from stark white. I think the color I got was called Natural. It's a bit of an off-white. It's giving very sort of beigey vibes. Not sad. Very cute. They are a bestseller for a reason. They feel buttery to the touch. They are super breathable, and they're perfect for both cooler and warmer weather. They are made with 100% organic cotton, and they use the highest quality threads on earth. They come in 10 versatile colors in all sizes from twin up to California King. So get your coolest, most comfortable sleep with Boll & Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets when you use our promo code TOAST at bollandbranch.com. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com. Promo code TOAST for 15% off plus free shipping. Exclusions apply. See site for details. The dog days of summer, we're in the thick of it, and the hottest ones are ahead of us. So, take care of that when it comes to your sleep, and head to bollandbranch.com with our promo code TOAST.
Thank you, Turd.
You're welcome.
So our first story, the Ballerini Farm saga, continues. The author of the article about Ballerina Farm released a follow-up piece called My Day with the Trad Wife Queen and What It Taught Me. So the subheader says, an interview published last weekend with internet star Hannah Neeleman at her Utah home Ballerina Farm has sparked a global social media debate. Our writer, Megan Agnew, revisits her time with the mother of 8. So here in this second article, she includes some of the more flattering bits from her day with Ballerina.
And I felt like she gave some context that had it been included in the original article, it would have completely changed. She didn't, in the article say anything downright, derogatory or misleading, but pulling context, just, she allowed her words to infer things for people.
Yeah.
And people jumped to their own conclusions. And I think that one of the main things was that she couldn't get a moment alone with Hannah, and she never wanted to, she couldn't ask any of the questions that she really wanted. And she goes on to say that the reason she couldn't ask some of the questions that she wanted was because they were inappropriate to ask in front of children or a husband. And, one of those questions is what does she use for birth control? And seriously, we're asking people those questions. That's, if you couldn't ask that in front of someone's kids or a husband, maybe you shouldn't ask it at all because it's fucking disgusting.
Right. And what is she going to say?
Do you pull out, Daniel?
Not
are you kidding?
What would she say not in front of her husband that she would say to you behind a closed door that then's going to end up on the internet. I think also in the first article, she didn't say anything directly, but she painted a picture that made it seem like Daniel needed to be in the room at all times, like very controlling, and wanted to not have Hannah speak without him present for whatever reason. Here, she kind of walks back on that inference and just says that that's the nature of having 8 children.
Right.
I think also the way that we read the article and saw it play out on social media, we saw Ballerina Farm getting a lot of backlash and people worried that, is Ballerina Farm okay? This author must have also received people's thoughts, because I think that's why she put out this article, because she was trying to explain herself, because I think she's also getting backlash. Because
like, how can you, like, right,
she
read
wrote
the part.
This. In recent days, there has been criticism that I, a childless, unmarried woman, didn't understand that this is the reality of having 8 children, all homeschooled and with no childcare. But I felt the exact opposite when I was there. It made me understand exactly how it was to be a woman with 8 children and no childcare.
You can never know.
You can never know. And especially if you're still insisting on getting a moment alone with her, you're not going to get that. How can she give you her time when, like, she literally, like, someone has to watch 8 children. One of them is an actual baby. The other are toddlers. That's not the same as watching an 8-year-old. So you don't understand if that's still the expectation that you would get a moment alone with her.
And I just never know. I've never known a journalist who writes, it was a hit piece, to then follow up. I don't know what the right word is, because it doesn't feel like she's backtracking at all. But since the first article came out, that really was misleading and left out so many things that caused people to jump to conclusions like Daniel's an abusive oppressor. Now this second article has come out, and there was a podcast episode released by the Times with the journalist, and they included, I guess she had recorded a bunch of the conversations. And there is a very clear moment, because so many people are basically saying, like, Hannah had all these, ideas for her life, and she put them, they were stripped from her by Daniel. And this isn't the life that she chose. And there's a very clear moment, and they included it in the podcast, which is Hannah saying, and she sounds, they're sitting outside, and she's like, I love this life. I chose this life. And when it came to Daniel and her dancing, she's like, Daniel was actually the one who encouraged me to keep dancing after we had kids. And he still is the one who encourages me to, like, keep dancing. And it so clearly contradicted the very subtle, well, actually not so subtle, inferences she was trying to make in the original article.
Right, that she couldn't dance because Daniel kept getting her pregnant, because
locked her
that's
up.
what he wanted. He put her gowns in the garage, anything, small thing she has for herself. Yeah. He finds a way to take it away from her and sub in more kids and more kids' things.
Yeah, it was so crazy. And, like, now the follow-up article and the podcast episode obviously get no attention in comparison to how much, and she's right, it started a global conversation, how much the original article did. And that's just a shame, because now everybody walks away when you hear Ballerina Farm, so like, oh yeah, that's a girl who's, like, people went really so far, she's locked up and she's abused, and that really I don't believe is the case. And I just think it's really sad.
I want to just talk about the fact that she even wrote a follow-up article, which I think is really stunning. I've not seen anything like that from one author who writes a hit piece. Let's call it this was a hit piece, that then a few days later writes a softer piece on someone. And people are, like, having their conspiracy theories as to why this came out.
The Mormon church
paid her, bribed her. I saw Daniel you showed me that video of that creator on TikTok, and she had a great point. It was like, if you think that much about this author's integrity, that she could get paid off to write a second article about Ballerina Farm, how are you going to trust what she wrote in the first piece one to begin with?
Like, she's obviously, like, a scrupulous, spineless woman.
Right. So I don't think she was paid off, bribed by anyone. But I also don't think that she did it, like, plenty of times. Look at Huberman. No one then did a follow-up about Huberman. I feel like, was the first article libelous in any way?
Well, see, the thing is, this is the UK Times, and there are different laws there, so I'm not 100% sure. And that's what is so, like, funny and finicky about media is, and this happens all the time, where people are, they write things that aren't a lie, but they lack context.
They're not the whole truth.
And they lead the reader to come to a conclusion that isn't entirely true, but it's well within the confines of being legal, and that's what, journalism, I think, for a lot of writers, like, this is what they do. And so, no, I don't think she broke the law in any way. I think she, saw the things that she saw. And you have to also think about, like, just how different these two people are. I actually was on the author's Instagram yesterday, just to, like, I wanted to see what she looked like. And, like, this is a young girl who lives in an entirely different country, who, like she said, doesn't have kids yet, is unmarried, and she was just at Glastonbury. Like, these two people could not be more different. So why we think one of them, I'm sure if Hannah had to write an article and spend the day with this girl, she'd be like, this girl's a crackhead. Like, It's a stunning difference of, you know, two different women leading completely different lives, making completely different choices. And that's totally valid. But to think that we were going to get a fair assessment on one of them from the other, like, is just...
Right. I think there are articles to be written about Ballerina Farm. I think people, I shall never let anyone in again, but I would love to see someone spend the day with her who has like a modicum of appreciation for half of the things that she does.
No, and you're right. She's definitely scarred. She'll never do another article, which sucks because this is probably one of the most interesting people in the world. And what you had said yesterday and what this author wrote at the very top of the article was that, like, she set out, the goal of her interview was to find out if Ballerina Farm's life was real or not. Like, what we were seeing online, is that real? And you're a journalist who writes about social media, and you think that someone's life on the internet is going to be the same as their life in real life. That's the whole point. The internet is not real. Like, that was your goal?
This is what she said. Before I left to interview her, the main question I had from friends, family, and colleagues was whether it was all true. One of the most watched people on the internet, her children looked chaotic and happy, homeschooled, and free range. How did she keep it all together? How was she always so calm? Was it really like that?
No, nobody's like that.
Even the picture that she painted in the first article is the same picture that I expect based on her social media.
Yeah. Oh, and then we need to talk about Egg Apron, okay?
Okay. We talked about this at Gizmo.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it on the toast. So in tandem with the first article, this old Instagram story of Hannah's went viral. And it was Daniel recording Hannah opening a box. It was Hannah's birthday. And she's like, this is my birthday present. And he was like, yeah, open it. And she's like, oh my God, are these the tickets to Greece I wanted, I guess? Like, everybody knew she wanted to go to Greece. And she opens it up and it's this apron. I guess it was like this joke apron that they had talked about once. And it was this apron that had little knit crochet pockets for eggs. So you could put, like, you know, if you're picking eggs, you put them in whatever.
Picking eggs.
And people are like, this is indicative of everything. You know, she wants to go to Greece. He's a billionaire. He owns an airline. He obviously can take her there.
And he's keeping her home.
And to think that everything about her birthday that day is boiled down to this one video and nothing else happened. No other gifts were received is absurd and really lacks any sort of media literacy. Two, these aren't two people who don't travel. They just went to Europe. Okay. They were literally just in Europe. Three, it's very common for people, and I think somebody like Ballerina who lives this very rustic life, they're going to keep the more extravagant and luxurious billionaire-esque parts of their life offline. Right. One, because it always puts a target on your back whenever you're like sharing wealth on the internet. And two, it's not congruous. Like, him being a billionaire is like the one thing that's like not really congruous with the whole like trad wife lifestyle. So it's just sort of this thing that like stays on the back burner. To assume that was the only gift that she got. How the fuck do you know that?
So many things. There's so many ifs. Like, even if he got her a 50-inch flat screen TV, which isn't like, which anybody could, you know, go out and buy, but it's what we call off brand.
Right.
How many times do you not post something, or I'll clean up the kitchen while I'm posting my sourdough because it's off brand. It's not a big conspiracy. And I want to say another thing.
But the grand conclusions being made about this 30-second video is absurd.
There's a chance that you're right, that moment is indicative of their life and her birthday, and she wants this and he's keeping her at home. There's a chance of that. There's also a chance that it's not that whatsoever.
And they're in Greece right now.
Or that, like, this is a joke. This is a fun thing between them. She's the Ballerina Farm. Look at her cool new apron. Like, there's a reason why this video went on social media. When you told me about the apron, I thought it was genius. I also said to you that, you know, a flight to Greece is actually, that would be free for him. That's not him going out and buying her something.
No, please. And if they went to Greece,
out and calling dad.
If they went to Greece, everybody would be like,
where are the kids?
No. And of course, where are the kids? Who's watching the kids? Neglectful parenthood. Oh, this is just so absurd. People can't afford groceries and you're going to Greece. These are two people who can't win. And I have no proof of this, but I know
farmers can't go to Greece.
I know in my bones that there was another birthday gift, but the grand conclusions being made off of a 10-second video, you know nothing about what actually happened on this person's birthday. So to extrapolate and make huge statements about something they chose to share with us is absurd, and it really lacks a knowledge of how the internet works. It's like, it's so frustrating to see people being so dumb.
When they went to Europe, did they bring all the kids?
I don't know. I don't know, but I know that they've been to Europe.
How do you go to Greece with 8 kids and one of them is a baby? And do you leave them at home, but they don't have a nanny? Maybe like they would have family come and help.
I could also see like the Greece thing being a joke. Like, yeah, I'm going to pick up and leave all the kids and go to Greece. Like, I could see that being a joke.
Yeah.
Just calm down. Like, seriously, calm down.
Right.
I do want to know like why she wrote this follow-up article, because it feels like it definitely lessens everything she said, inferred in the first one. Why?
It makes me feel like they might have had cause to sue. Not saying that I know that or that anything I read, but just, and so she's backtracking a little.
If I had cause to sue someone and this was their like attempt to make it right, like this wouldn't be enough for me.
Yeah.
I would demand a full retraction.
Yeah.
An apology.
Yeah.
So if they had, that's why I don't think they had their lawyers call up.
I don't think she was bribed.
And media companies get like, anytime an article comes out about someone, they threaten to sue. And this is something media companies deal with all the time. I don't think they get scared when an influencer's lawyer calls and not enough to write a second article. I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah. Agreed. No, it's a whole different picture that she's painting here. It's really, really weird.
It's weird. I would love to know what happened.
But I'll take more Ballerina Farm content anytime.
We're not going to get it.
Or maybe the other one had such high clicks they wrote something else. But why diverge from the narrative that they were painting and write this?
Right. The negative narrative is why there were clicks.
Yeah. I'm sure it was like so many clicks. It makes sense that she would write more with more stuff that they had, but it doesn't make sense why she would change her tune so much.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Interesting.
That's what's going on with Ballerina. Damn. Are you ready for our next story? A little Olympics news. This will be your mini Olympics recap for the day. The celebs, the stars are out in Paris. And Sarah Jessica Parker and Jennifer Hudson have reunited 16 years after the Sex and the City movie.
Obsessed.
And just like that, they were together again. SJP and Jennifer Hudson reunited 16 years after being in the Sex and the City movie together. Jennifer Hudson posted an Instagram photo on Monday of her and SJP hugging in front of the Eiffel Tower during the Olympics. She said, "Look who I ran into in Paris. Carrie and Louise reunited at last. Love is the thing, you know."
No. I'm obsessed. Like Jennifer Hudson's character as the, very organized, sassy, in-love assistant on Sex and the City, the first movie, was one of the greatest casting decisions made by anyone ever. And then like her voice was the voice singing
on the soundtrack
and the final song. I'm dressed up in love. Obsessed beyond. And there's so much funny like lore from her character. Like
is there?
Specifically about the Louis Vuitton bag that Carrie gifted her, which was so sweet because she was this girl working on a budget and she used to rent bags. Yeah, she used to rent bags because she couldn't afford them. And then when she left to get her wedding, Carrie got her a wedding gift of her very own Louis Vuitton bag. And Carrie's like this fashionable queen. We're like, oh my God, what did she get? And she opens the bag. It's one of the ugliest pieces of shit you've ever seen in your life. Like, you actually could not pay me.
Yeah, even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes.
And who uttered those immortal words? Luann de Lesseps. It is so ugly. And that has had like a resurgence in the years since the movie came out, being like, this was so funny, but like, why was the bag so ugly? And obviously the comments are flooded with like comments about the bags because that's what people talk about now. But I love that we're like talking about this. I feel like so many people play iconic small roles that like people in culture love, we're always talking about, but then the artists, like they don't even think about their time in that one movie or that one role. They don't understand the impact. I feel like Jennifer Hudson and Carrie like understood the impact.
Yeah, it makes me wonder because I feel like that is such a beloved casting, a beloved moment. And I feel like for the show and just like that, they're constantly trying to like
they're
bring
scraping
back
the bottom of the barrel.
Days of yore. They bring back every former cast member and like try and make fetch happen. Why wouldn't they bring back Louise from St. Louis?
Maybe this is a spoiler. Okay, how would it be? So she moved back to St. Louis. She fell in love. She had like big city dreams, but at the end of the day, like it was like, I think it was her high school sweetheart. And that was more important than anything she was going to, it's kind of giving Ballerina Farm.
Yeah.
Anything she was going to do in New York. So she moves back to St. Louis. She has this big family and she ends up getting married. How does her story end? Like,
she probably has like a child.
Yeah, she's still in St. Louis.
Maybe that wants to be in fashion. That would like intern for Carrie.
That's really good. So she calls her up and she's like, listen, I'm bringing the kid to New York. We're going to do interviews. Would love to see you.
Like see you for an internship interview.
No, I'd love to see you. And then Carrie's like, wait, why don't, because Louise would never ask.
Right.
Wait, what is Carrie up to these days? Or she has a podcast.
She
the
needs
podcast gets canceled.
Young intern.
She does because she's really struggling with her media. Yeah. I love that. And then like the intern, Jennifer Hudson's daughter, has Carrie like making TikToks.
Oh my God.
It's actually like a really good plot.
Think about it.
I love these two.
Maybe now things are set into motion. Girl can dream.
A girl can dream.
But Jennifer Hudson's also very busy. But she's also in her show's in LA. Her show's in LA.
She is really busy, but she also like, she works. Like if she gets a role, she gets booked.
She'll be there.
She's showing up on time.
Yeah.
She's not being like a diva extraordinaire. She's getting the work done and she's flying back on the red eye.
Yeah.
She works hard.
She does.
I love this. I really do.
Super cute.
I forgot about these two. If you were to ask me, do Jennifer Hudson and Carrie Bradshaw know each other? I'd be like, okay, wait, do they? It's not something that automatically comes to mind.
Yeah. No, sweet
Love
moment.
is the thing, you know?
The Olympics bringing people together.
So true.
Per usual. Oh, also some more Olympics adjacent news that I just wanted to mention because Bella Hadid has spoken out about the Adidas controversy. As you guys know, Adidas did their offensive Olympics campaign with Bella Hadid, harking back to the 1972 Olympics, which were just so fabulous, apparently, except for the part where the Israeli wrestling team was murdered, taken hostage, mutilated, murdered, kidnapped, and the like. So since then, Adidas has taken down some of the imagery, apologized, said there was no intention. It must be, what world do you live in when you think of the Munich Olympics and the first thing that you think of isn't that? Seriously, what a charmed life.
Yeah, it's so true. Oh my God. It's so true.
So she put out a statement saying, for those of you that do not know my heart, I want to make sure you're hearing directly from me about my recent campaign with Adidas. I would never knowingly engage with any art or work that is linked to a horrific tragedy of any kind. In advance of the campaign's release, I had no knowledge of the historical connection to the atrocious events in 1972.
But she claims to be an activist when it comes to Israel and Palestine. Bella Hadid knows everything, right? Bella Hadid is the smartest when it comes to history of Palestine.
She didn't know what happened at the 1972
where
Olympics.
Palestinian terrorists literally broke into the hotel room of the Israeli Olympians and took some of them hostage, murdered. But you know everything, right? Your Instagram is full of facts.
That's a big part of this story.
And the history.
So when we're saying there's context, you don't even know something from 50 years ago.
So either she did know it and she's lying, or she didn't know it, and that should only prove everything you see on Bella Hadid's Instagram is moronic.
I don't know which one is more damning.
I know.
They're both so terrible. So
you claim to know everything. You march all the time. You're you are the #1 historian on the history of the region. And you don't know about Munich?
Mouthpiece for the movement. She probably has more followers than anyone else
right.
who's getting so involved in the
conflict.
conflict.
And you don't know about Munich.
She said, I'm shocked, I'm upset, and I'm disappointed in the lack of sensitivity that went into this campaign. Had I been made aware from the bottom of my heart, I would never have participated. My team should have known, Adidas should have known, and I should have done more research so that I too would have known and understood and spoken up. I think doing more research would be a really good thing for you to do
in general.
More of the time. She said, as I always have and always will speak up for what I believe to be wrong, while everyone's intentions were to make something positive and bring people together through art, the collective lack of understanding from all parties undermined the process. I do not believe in hate in any form, including anti-Semitism. That will never waver, and I stand by that statement to the fullest extent. Connecting the liberation of the Palestinian people to an attack so tragic is something that hurts my heart. Palestine is not synonymous with terrorism, and this campaign unintentionally highlighted an event that does not represent who we are. I'm a proud Palestinian woman, and there is so much more to our culture than the things that have been equated over the past week. She said, I will forever stand by my people of Palestine while continuing to advocate for a world free of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism has no place in the liberation of the Palestinian people. Let me just talk to you about this one sentence.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the liberation of the Palestinian people, and her quote is, it's free Palestine until Palestine is free. And so that means from the river to the sea, as we all know, the big nursery rhyme.
Palestine will be free.
The river to the sea is the entirety of Israel. So Palestine can't be free until there is no Israel. To have no one Jewish country in the world is anti-Semitic. So that statement, anti-Semitism has no place in the liberation of the Palestinian people, is incongruous. It's literally saying I'm a proud Nazi who stands against anti-Semitism. It makes no sense.
I want to say something about
it's 1 + 1 = sock.
About her being a model on a campaign. If this were an ordinary situation and a campaign went kind of how Kendall Jenner for Pepsi, I am never really inclined to blame the model. Models notoriously have no say. They're just models. They don't contribute to the creative. They don't contribute to hair and makeup, wardrobe. They literally just do as they're told. And I actually think in this case, that is true for Bella Hadid. I just think it's, unfortunate for her that she has this really long history of being a polarizing figure in the Jewish community. I think a lot of Jews really dislike Bella Hadid, us included. And she has this really complicated history of saying really egregious, damaging, hateful, anti-Semitic, some of the worst shit I've ever seen. Right. It comes from Bella Hadid. Don't worry. Hamas treats the hostages really well.
When
they give them a birthday cake.
When was freed, she posted that Hamas had given him a birthday cake because he said they made a birthday cake to taunt him that it was his birthday.
They didn't let him eat it.
But he posted, look how good Hamas treated the hostages.
Bella Hadid is a lightning rod for hate. I hate Bella Hadid. And I think she's an anti-Semite. I think she's one of the most damaging people in this conversation. She has the biggest platform. She spreads the most lies, propaganda. Like, she will go down in history. Like, when we look at this in 100 years, she will go down in history as being a real catalyst for hate. But this is such an interesting saga when it comes to Adidas, because in situations like this, like, the model is not a part of, it's just so
until
crazy.
She put out this statement, I feel like all of our ire was directed toward Adidas. I feel like actually, and Bella Hadid's angry at Adidas and we're angry at Adidas, and it's all really on Adidas. They did the creative for this campaign. I really didn't have my blood boiling in this instance for Bella Hadid until this statement, where she's literally such a hateful person, but then says, I stand against hate. It's like, just because you say it doesn't make it true. Your statement is like inherently contradictory, unless you're talking about freeing Palestine from Hamas, which is what we all want. But that's not what you're talking about. Yeah. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about
just very
we're
slowly
taking over.
Become a mouthpiece for Hamas, and you very slowly have started to justify rape and justify murder and justify the atrocities of October 7th. So you love hate, actually. And I think
But then people will see this statement and be like, oh, Bella Hadid stands against hate and she's not an anti-Semite. Just because you like say that doesn't make it true.
And I want to say, I actually do believe Bella Hadid that she got booked for this gig and like didn't know at all what the implications were and what it symbolized. Because I actually don't think she knows about the Munich Olympics. And that's because she's dumb. Yeah. And that's because she's not a person we should be following or listening to when it comes to what's going on in the region. I think she parades as this activist and this really educated, knowledgeable person on the subject. But this statement, she just admitted to knowing nothing. So let's stop collectively giving her a platform.
Right. And I don't know how much more I can like talk about these things on the show, because it's seriously upsetting. Yeah. And like this show, it's our show and we're keeping it fun. Mm-hmm. But just wanted to let you know why this apology, like the rest, throw them in the garbage. This one really made me very angry. Yeah. I will always stand for peace over violence. Meanwhile, Hamas is perpetuating violence every single day. You do not stand against it. You're not calling for the release of the hostages. You're not doing anything that promotes peace. Oh, please.
Bella Hadid is like hanging out with and taking pictures with people who actually go around New York City and beat up Jews. Like, for a fact, Joey Borgen was beat up by a Jew who was in a picture with Bella Hadid the next day smiling. Like, she is not a reputable source when it comes to like information on this. And I know it's really hard to actually find good information. I'm sympathetic. Bella Hadid is not where you should be starting. Let's say that.
Right.
So I'm so done with her. I can't.
Right. And it's just like crazy how like really one of the most popular voices for anti-Semitism like in the world can just say, I stand against anti-Semitism. I want a world free from anti-Semitism. And then people are going to pick that up and applaud that.
Right. And it's just, it couldn't be true. You can say whatever you want, like the sky is purple, but at the end of the day,
like we're telling you, your actions, your words, they're anti-Semitic. They're hurting the Jewish people around the world. No. Calling for the erasure of the state of Israel is inherently anti-Semitic. That's the fact. So now do with that what you will.
I will personally never forget when Bella Hadid went on a podcast and was like crying that like, this was like 2 years ago, how like, you know, most of her friends who are Jewish like won't speak to her anymore. They're like not allowed over to her house for Shabbat, and how she's the victim in that. It's like, okay, wait, all your Jewish friends won't see you or speak to you. Do you ever want to ask why? And then everybody was like, oh my God, look, all of Bella Hadid's friends, like who are Jewish, aren't friends with her anymore. Because you're a fucking anti-Semite. Like, it's not this big conspiracy. You are the problem.
Right. It took them long enough though.
Literally. You can never catch me being friends with Bella Hadid. Not that like anyone's asking.
Are you ready for our next story, which honestly is just as upsetting? So
yes,
just stay upset. Yes. Taylor Swift has spoken out as she is completely in shock over the UK mass stabbing, as 3 little girls are dead and 8 are injured. So yesterday there was a terrible attack in the UK at a Taylor Swift themed dance class. 3 little girls have been pronounced dead as of this morning. 8 are injured. She posted a statement saying, the horror of yesterday's attack in Southport is washing over me continuously, and I'm just completely in shock. The loss of life and innocence, and the horrendous trauma inflicted on everyone who was there, the families and first responders. These were just little kids at a dance class. I'm at a complete loss for how to ever convey my sympathies to these families.
I don't know how, like, oh my God. First of all, the story itself is so horrible.
So horrible. Like some hooded
animal
man came into a dance class, like, you know, themed dance class, started stabbing the kids and the adults trying to protect the kids. I think it was like a bloodbath. Yeah. The 8 injured are like critically injured. At first it was 1 dead, but then like 2 more didn't survive their injuries. Like, it's just a horrible,
and
horrible
they're kids.
Story.
it's such a horrible story because you can't think of a place like more filled with love and joy than a Taylor Swift themed dance class for kids. Like truly monstrosity. And I can only really imagine, obviously what comes to mind is Ariana Grande, like very similar on a much bigger scale. This place of celebration and joy, an Ariana Grande concert, you know, really for kids becomes a place for such destruction. I can't really imagine like how you deal with this as Taylor Swift. Like all these people coming together to celebrate you ends up being, I really don't know how you cope with this. Like it's so horrible. And I actually thought her statement was really well written
and heartfelt.
And I think it was beautiful, but I don't know how you deal with this. Honestly, it's so horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Like just horrible for the families. I think it's just like a very quiet town that all of a sudden is turned upside down by this.
And I'm sure she'll do what she does.
Of course. And I think the Swifties have already raised money, and I'm sure there will be no like lack of
expense spared.
But nothing could change what they witnessed, what they've gone through, the people that they've lost. It's just really, really terrible and like senseless. And I don't think they've shared who this person was and what they were trying to accomplish. But it's so upsetting.
It's devastating. It's really terrible. Like there's just actually no words to like speak.
Right.
And I thought it was like amazing that she released a statement, and I'm sure she'll go above and beyond and meet everyone. But like, ooh, that's just got to be for her to like take that on. I don't even know how you would like coexist with that.
Yeah.
Like with the guilt.
Yeah.
And of course she's not responsible,
No.
but you can't help but like beat yourself up.
Yeah.
And take that on. And it's really, really, really sad.
Yeah. Sad for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, switching gears to our fourth story, some family drama.
Oh my God. The Cyrus family. Like I have recently, like, I knew this was going on and like I kind of didn't care.
Yeah.
But it has gotten so crazy. And then when I found out that like there were rumors that Tish's husband used to date Noah, like then I was like, okay, let me pay attention.
No, I check in every once in a while. It's super crazy. Like I get the recap and then I come back a few weeks later. But this headline really surprised me today because Tish is reunited with, the Daily Mail calls her love rival daughter.
Stop. That's really disgusting if it's not true. But if it is true, it's also really disgusting.
She reunited with Noah for the first time in 3 years after claims that she stole her kinky husband, Dominic Purcell, from the youngest child. This headline is so fucking twisted.
Yeah.
But Daily Mail did have the exclusive photos, which is why I'm reading their headline.
I just want to say, like, if it was completely not true, I feel like the Cyrus family would have said something. I mean, like, you guys are disgusting. Like, where do you get these ideas?
No, there's something. I don't know if it's like how, maybe they just had spoken or Noah had a crush on him from TV or whatever.
Yeah.
There's something.
That to me is the only way I can make this digestible is that, like, let's say, during COVID, Noah and Tish, like, watched this show that they've never seen and they both became obsessed with him, like, following him on Instagram. Like, Noah loved him. And then, like, Tish actually got an opportunity to, like, go on a date with him and ended up marrying him. Like, that's the only way it could be. Because it's giving the idea of you.
Right.
Her daughter in the book was obsessed with the Harry Styles character, and then she ends up fucking the Harry Styles character, and the kid has a fucking breakdown when they like are spotted together with paparazzi. And it's so weird. It's like the weirdest part of the book. And the kid was 12. She was never gonna have a real relationship with Harry Styles, but Noah Cyrus like is of age. No, I'm sorry. I really can't go down this path. It's like kind of gross.
But also, so the two of them were seen together walking out of the Encino Financial Center, which is an office that offers financial management and law advice. They're just like walking out. So clearly they're on speaking terms. She like puts her hand on Noah's shoulder at some point. Okay. I don't know what that means. But then also you saw last week that this audio recording of Billy Ray Cyrus has come out. He's going through a divorce from his new wife, Fire Rose. She's like much younger than him. And she must have released these recordings because the Daily Mail has them. And they're clearly like between.
Or it's like public information.
No, but the Daily Mail is the one who got them, but maybe they got them from the filings, perhaps. Right. Anyway, somehow these audio recordings of like their fights have come out, and he is awful.
I mean, there's so many layers to the audio recording. Like one, how he speaks to his wife.
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Two, he makes a comment about his daughter.
Yeah, he called her like everyone knows. Quote, that devil's a skank.
Referring to Miley.
And then he doesn't even call Tish by her name, the mother of his 3 children, wife of 30 years. He just calls her a slut.
Oh my God. Okay, Billy Stewart, calm the fuck down.
Not to make it about me, but my childhood is ruined.
Yeah, no, that'll do it. That'll do it, Billy Ray. Are you okay?
No, seriously, so crazy.
No, this... Just when you think like the Cyrus family drama like can't get any more twisted, Billy Ray's out here calling his daughter the devil skank.
Yeah.
Skank is such a crazy word to use, period. About your daughter?
Devil?
Yeah, but I feel like maybe that's how like people from the South talk. Oh, that devil don't know what he did
he
to
got
me.
the devil inside
Yeah. Like, I don't know, the devil, I could see Billy Ray like kind of using that word, not always nefariously, like, oh, the devil went down to Georgia, you know?
Yeah.
But that everybody knows that devil's a skank. Oh my God, chill, bro. That's literally your daughter. Your daughter.
My God, that is so true. But anyways, I don't know if this means like harmony between Noah and Tish. Also, like Noah was team Billy for a second. Like maybe these recordings have made her come to the other side.
Or maybe she just like went team Billy because she had nowhere else to go. And Tish was like, listen, we need to work this out.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
You can't be with this man. Like, I'll take you back. And do you feel like them leaving this particular office building, they could have been spotted anywhere, coffee, like, is them releasing these photos like, look, we're going to a lawyer.
So the way I saw it is like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to coffee yet, but like, you know, the paparazzi just don't sit outside the Encino Financial Center. So like someone wanted us to see this.
Yeah, no, it's so important when it comes to paparazzi in this day and age is to really have media literacy. Because if people like Beyonce, Mindy Kaling teach us anything, it's like you can be pregnant and nobody can see you. Like you can live a fully private life.
Even Hailey Bieber said she would have been able to hide her pregnancy till the end. And she's one of the most photographed people in the world.
So knowing what we know about celebrity culture, it's important to inspect every single piece of paparazzi with a little bit of a critical eye and a healthy amount of suspicion and doubt. And I think they want us to see these photos. So what about it do they want us to see? The fact that these two are together, the fact that they're leaving a lawyer's office, like what about it was important for them to share with us? I'm
taking from it the togetherness.
Unless it's like a TikTok of somebody who was just happened to be leaving that office financial center too, and they got a picture. But if it's a long camera lens, paparazzi.
Yeah, it's like
it's the TMZ. Mm-hmm. In this day and age, you need to know, like they wanted us to see that.
Yeah.
Unless it's, same with like security camera footage, like Beyonce in the elevator, or most recently, who was P. Diddy?
Well, they didn't want us to see that.
Until they did. It was released for a reason,
Yeah. But why was it also not released? Like whoever released it was also the same person who chose to not release it.
We need to have a healthy amount of, criticism and suspicion and doubt when it comes to things like this being put out. I sound so crazy right now, but it is true.
But the thing, what I was going to say is it's impossible to know exactly what we're like supposed to know for sure. But that's why it's important just to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Never stop asking why.
Unless you're being really fucking annoying. Like maybe it's time to stop.
Yeah, so true.
But no, asking questions, like seriously, just not taking anything at face value immediately. Maybe eventually it is face value.
Yes, it is really sad though to see the dissolution of any family. The Cyrus family in particular, I think a lot of people our age feel really connected to. Miley and Billy specifically. And to see it get to a level this low, every family has their own shit. And when it airs out in public, it's always like really sad to see. But to see it get to this level of calling your daughter a skank, potentially marrying someone who your daughter had a crush on, like when it gets to this level of like really like hedonistic and like scary, I don't know. It's like,
but
it's
I also
too much.
feel like for their part, they've tried to keep it private as much as possible because we really don't know a lot. It's not like they're like, Brittany and Jamie Lynn, like writing Instagram captions about each other.
It's really true.
This is what has sort of like seeped out. Mm-hmm. And that's really unfortunate.
We're getting scraps.
It's not like they are putting it on display.
We're getting scraps and we're like trying to put together full, theories about what's really going on when they're giving us every now and then.
They're not giving us. It's like,
no, but every now and then someone will break. Like Noah like a couple of months ago, which I feel like was my foray into this story. She like posted something cryptic on social media in regards to what was going on with her mom. Like,
yeah. And then also Fire Rose has been a big part of this now too. Fire Rose being Billy Ray's ex-wife.
All that to say, like this recording was like not for the faint of heart.
Did you listen to it?
Yes.
I've just read quotes.
He sounds fucking crazy. Like really nutty and like drunk. Yeah, scary. Like,
so now that part of the story now makes sense why Miley, but I also saw Miley was just on a talk show. She did a long form interview. Maybe it was with Letterman or something.
Okay. Oh yeah. The
my
Netflix
guest. And I think she was talking about her dad. And I think she made it clear that they don't talk, but she didn't go in.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
we should watch that.
Yeah, we should. Even though I find David Letterman to be insufferable.
I know. But like,
he lost me when he did the interview with Kim because I actually think That Netflix show is great. He gets great guests and they're really good interviews. But the one with Kim, where it was like the first time she really ever talked about her robbery at length, I just found him to be so fucking annoying.
Yeah, he's really annoying. But
and I don't think he's good at his job. And I stand by the fact that, like, if David Letterman had to like try and get a show on the biggest show on NBC in this day and age, where like it wasn't just like if you just the pool of people who were getting chosen for like late night shows when David Letterman got chosen was like 11 people. They were all like white straight men. Now like the pool is much bigger and it's still only white straight men, but like other people get a chance. I think if he had to like fight for his right to like get a show today, he would never be chosen.
Like if he had to start a podcast from his basement, it would never rise to success.
The bar is much higher now and the pool of people who have successful platforms is much wider. I don't think David Letterman has the talent. Maybe back in the day, maybe. No, I think now like the talent pool is too great when you look at who's killing it on all media platforms.
Yeah.
I like have a crazy hate for David Letterman. I can't explain it.
In this day and age, anyone really with like enough talent and moxie can rise to success.
Right.
Back then, you had to be chosen and then you will have success. Yeah. But like,
it's true.
It's the getting chosen and what qualifies you. It's a bunch of things that aren't as much about talent and moxie.
Yep. No, it's so true. If David Letterman had a microphone in a dream right now, like nobody would be listening to his podcast if he wasn't David Letterman already. Like he could never build what people have built from nothing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about David Letterman.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Thank you.
And now he just gets the best guests in the world. So we actually don't want him to speak. Like,
correct. Oh my God. Like I was thinking this the other day because Simone Biles has been doing so much press for her Netflix documentary and then the Olympics, obviously. And I need someone to ask Simone Biles about Stick It. Like, as a successful gymnast, do you watch that movie? You have to.
Like, did you watch that movie? Did it
inspire you? Is it correct? Like, is it? Because everything I know about gymnastics, and I think a lot of girls my age who are obsessed with gymnastics are obsessed with it because of that movie.
Yeah.
What is the influence?
And what happened to the main actress from the movie?
She's on a series.
Good.
That's like, it's kind of, it's not Rizzoli and Isles, but it's like the same vibe where
it like goes on forever.
It goes on forever. You make a shit ton of money and you're like kind of famous.
Great. I love that for her. Missy Peregrine.
Yes.
Rookie Blue.
Yes. You know, one of those.
And like FBI Most Wanted.
She is paying her bills and she's living comfortably.
I absolutely love that for her.
Me too.
Great. Okay. I feel like sometimes we like find people from old movies and it's like
sad.
Yeah. Like where's Yancy?
Please. I don't want to talk about it.
Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
If it's the fifth and final story, that's sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. Your pet is part of your family, and you want the best for them no matter what. But vet bills can really add up, and that's why you should check out pet insurance. With ASPCA Pet Health Insurance, you can focus on the care that your pet deserves and cover what matters most. In today's world, we're insuring a lot, from our cars to our homes to our cell phones, even travel plans. But what about insurance for your dog or cat? With ASPCA Pet Health Insurance, you can focus on the care your pet deserves and cover what matters most. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents like yourselves to help your pet get the care that they may need. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program has been around for over 18 years. They've helped more than 600,000 pets during that time. They allow you to customize your plan, helping ensure that your pet's plan is as unique as they are. Because vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it, it's simple. Use their app to submit a claim and you'll receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/toast. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/toast. Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/toast. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. Thank you, ASPCA Pet Insurance, for sponsoring today's episode.
Today's episode of The Toast is also brought to you by ByHeart. ByHeart is an infant nutrition company built from the ground up to deliver real innovation on behalf of babies and parents. Their mission is simple: make the best formula in the world. This year, our friends at ByHeart, the only American-made formula with globally sourced ingredients,
Slay.
To use organic, grass-fed, whole milk. Check. So important.
Slay.
Never skim milk or skimming on ingredients. They are celebrating all the ways in which they never skim on anything, especially your babies. ByHeart never skims on healthy fats using only organic, grass-fed, whole milk. Whole milk is full of healthy fats like naturally occurring MFGM, which play an important role in brain development and growth. And ByHeart never skims on their standards. Their formula is made with certified clean ingredients, plus it has no soy, corn syrup, GMOs, or palm oil. So try ByHeart today and celebrate their commitment to never skim on all the important benefits when it comes to infant formula. Curious about ByHeart, you ask?
I am.
Redeem your welcome offer at byheart.com/podcast with code TOAST20 for a limited time. Additional terms and conditions apply. It is so hard to find the right formula. You're looking at ingredients. Your babies have sensitivities. There's a million things that go into this decision. And ByHeart is a great brand that you can trust because of the best ingredients that they use and how committed they are to that. So check out ByHeart at byheart.com/podcast and use code TOAST20 for a limited time.
Thank you, Jacqueline Follet.
You're welcome, Latert.
What is our fifth and final story?
Our fifth and final story, finally some levity, okay?
Yeah. Oh my God. No, today's episode was super heavy.
It's like, that's just the world that we live in.
No, and seriously, like we need to combat it. Like I can't.
I know, but like we can't ignore.
I know. But like
then
seriously.
we're just talking about a bunch of like nothing.
I'm depressed.
Yeah. It's a depressing world.
It is. It's sick.
But the good news is that Andy Cohen and the Real Housewives of New Jersey are still talking nonsense. So
this story's like bothering me.
It's bothering me too.
Okay.
Andy Cohen confirms that the Real Housewives of New Jersey is getting a reboot, says all fresh faces may be coming. After weeks of speculation, Andy confirmed that RHONJ is getting a reboot. He said, quote, "Have you heard that we're going to do big changes on the show?" He said to a caller in his radio show who called complaining about the storylines. He said, "We are rebooting the show. We're going to reboot it. We're going to do something different." Interrupting the woman who kept complaining, he said, we're going to see what we do. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe just all fresh faces. Okay, so since it's still a maybe, let me take a moment to say, don't do this.
I agree. And also, what's with the change in tune? They've sort of been remarking all year long because a couple of months ago, they announced that the reunion was going to be like a little bit different this year because so many of the castmates literally will not be in the same room with each other, that they're going to do sort of a hybrid type of thing. And this led people, it really freaked people out. They thought that it was indicative that the show was getting a reboot. They were starting clean. Everyone was getting fired. And Andy has like said multiple times over the course of the last few months, like, this is not true. He's maintained that stance, being like, no, like, we're changing things up a little bit, but that doesn't mean the show's being rebooted. Like, he has said those words. And now it's like, we're thinking of rebooting the show.
Yeah, I feel like he's, as you know, the girls of Vanderpump will say, he's living in the comments too much. Yeah. And sometimes, like, as a producer, you should just like sit in a room, not listen to the fans who are always calling, take this one out, take that one out. And you know what? So often we, myself included, have been wrong for that.
Yeah, it's so true.
Why don't you make the best executive decision for the show? Like, you are the expert,
professionals.
right? Like, you're the professional. You make great television. Stop listening to everyone who's just like, they could be turned in 2 seconds. Remember how much everyone loved West? 7 minutes of a reunion and we didn't like him anymore. You can make anyone like anyone.
Famous fickle.
And why don't you like just do the work that you are an expert in.
Yeah, no,
and stop leaving it to the fans who are just like consuming what you are putting out.
Right. That's actually a really good point. And I don't know if a reboot is the right answer. I feel like you can take a look at Real Housewives of Orange County and Real Housewives of New York, because they were both two shows
on the brink.
They had cast members on for 14 plus years. It wasn't working anymore. And they took two different routes. With the OC, they did like a lot of changes, but the core group remained. Like, Tamara's still on. They brought Heather Dubrow back. They brought a bunch of new ladies.
They went into the archives.
They went to the archives. They moved back.
Their future laid in the past.
But also in the front, they brought some new ladies. Yeah. Like, they really made a lot of big changes without doing a complete reboot.
And even though we haven't watched, I've actually been tempted.
They also brought Taylor Armstrong, somebody from a different franchise.
I've been tempted to watch, and like, I have it all recorded, and one day I do hope to watch. So it's something, and I think people are really enjoying it, and it's going well.
I don't know if it was like the ratings boost that they were hoping for. I don't think it turned things around completely, but I think it definitely, started an uptick. Mm-hmm. Then you look at Real Housewives of New York, where they did a complete reboot. It was another franchise that needed something, and instead of doing what they did on OC, they tried something new where absolutely nobody from the old franchise was on, and they started with a bunch of new faces. And I think that one took a minute. I think it did, I don't think it matched RHONY ratings completely, but I think it caused a bit of an uptick. So they're both having success. It's not a perfect formula, either one of them. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. I would say they're both equally popular.
Oh, I would say, as it stands right now, like, RHONY reboot is a flop. I think they're going to keep working it. They're bringing in new faces, and sometimes these things take time. But I don't think that it has like crashed through into I think the people who are watching it are like trying to make fetch happen, and they're saying like, this is decent, but it's not taken over. It's not missable. Like, it's very missable.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the
And I'm sure
reboot.
if you watch the show, you're like, yeah, you watched it. You're like, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it wasn't giving like
But like
OG
when
Housewives.
you reboot the show, it's for the intention that it will be like season 1 of RHONY the first time around. That's why we're bringing all new fresh faces, not for like a more of the same or lesser than.
Yeah, it's Real Housewives is just at this inflection point, and I think they have been for a while, and I don't know. I think they've done some really good things in terms of, it's kind of scary to like get rid of an OG, right? Because they're historic, they have huge followings. But I feel like they've done a really good job of keeping people on the network while maybe not in the roles that they had started out on. When it comes to Ultimate Girls Trip, when it comes to Peacock, these things that go viral, and you're keeping people on the payroll. BravoCon,
Ultimate Girls Trip, Traders, those shows, major successes.
Major successes. So I feel like they've actually,
I don't watch them and I can't stop hearing about them.
I think they've done a really good job because they are at this point where reality TV, the landscape has changed a lot. Bravo was at the forefront for many, many years. Now I feel like Netflix, these more competition shows, I think other people are ahead of it. And I do think like Bravo was responsible for making it so popular, and now they've kind of been eclipsed by other
and
shows.
It's changed. It's been a long time. And also we talk about this, like there is this inherent issue. The shows are very formulaic, and you come on and you are there for a reason, whether you have nothing to lose or you have a lot to lose and a lot to gain. And we're not going to get that season 1 energy when everyone knows what you stand to gain if it all goes well.
So it's just kind of at this weird point in culture where this thing that they really invented has eclipsed them, right? Other people are doing it better. And I do think they're kind of killing it in some parts. Traders was huge for them, correct? Ultimate Girls Trip, everything they're doing on Peacock is really working for them. I think on the main network with these franchise shows, they are struggling. And I think, it was OC, then it was New York. They're all sort of falling one by one. And I think the more time goes on, they're going to try different things. One of them might hit and they'll do it for other shows. But I don't think they have found the perfect formula for these shows.
For rehabilitating shows that have stalled.
Yeah. And all of them either have stalled or are going to stall.
Yeah.
Even like Beverly Hills is probably the one that's had the least issues, but it's still not what it was.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been for a while. And, Vanderpump Rules was there too, but thank God for Scandal. When you think about Vanderpump Rules right before Scandal, that show was on the brink of being canceled.
Yeah, no, and they were also bringing on a new cast locally.
Right, the younger generation. Then The Valley, I think, was a really inspired decision.
And it's going really well.
Yes, so I think they're working through it. I don't know what they're going to do with these big housewife franchise that are at this inflection point. I don't know what the answer is.
But I also feel like, and I didn't watch this season of New Jersey just because of a time constraint on my part, but it's one of the few franchises that I've not missed a season of. Like I really do enjoy it. And my argument is that like it hasn't stalled. It's not
agree.
Bad enough, especially now when we think about what we called RHONY stall. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, in hindsight, it wasn't that bad.
The problem with New Jersey is that the women hate each other so much. That's the whole point of the show.
Right.
I don't agree. I agree with you. I don't agree that New Jersey's at this point. Maybe the ratings aren't doing well and that's the biggest indicator. But I think when it comes to actual plot, and I've seen most of this season, I haven't seen the last couple of episodes while we've been here, but it's very good. And I know something happened this week where Margaret like sent flowers and it really took like the internet by storm. I don't agree that New Jersey is failing or flopping. I don't think that they bring it in. And the fact that these women literally can't attend a reunion is indicative of how good the show is.
Right.
So I'm not seeing what everybody else is seeing.
Right. And just like sometimes on the one hand, I'm like, if it's not that great, like maybe script it more, maybe edit it down, maybe make it crazy again. And then when that happens, I'll be like, this is edited, this is fake. Yeah. But don't listen to me.
But it's entertaining.
Don't listen to me. I'm talking about it. I'm watching it.
It's entertaining. Yeah.
That's what you want.
It's true. It's definitely good. It has been interesting to see, because this, I feel, sort of inflection point started like maybe a year or two ago. I feel like it's been really interesting to see the changes Bravo and Peacock has made, and they are killing it in some regards, but they haven't solved that core issue, which is the franchise, with the Bravo Housewives franchise, which made the network what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do. But I'm open to all ideas. I don't think anything they've done yet with OC or New York has been revolutionary or has completely worked.
I think we need Ballerina Farm on the Real Housewives
of Utah,
just to make it, that's the housewife everyone's talking about. Maybe we need more trad wives. That's what everyone's got everyone in a tizzy.
Well, there is that new show on Hulu, The Secret Wives.
But that's about the swingers.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Oh,
and
is it?
I think it's about that one scandal with like the swinging influencers.
Yeah.
But no, like, look, you want to have things that people are talking about, lightning rods in the culture.
It's true,
It used to be like, fancy stay-at-home housewives. Now it's the trad wife.
It's true. They kind of have to get more on like theme with what people are talking about.
That's what people are talking about.
It's true.
But again, that's also fleeting. So do you want to make decisions and stand by them? Or you want to be at the whims of the audience, because I don't think that's going to get you very far. We're a very fickle bunch, and I'm myself included.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. I don't make television. I'm not the expert.
No, but you do make amazing podcasts.
Right. And so I just need amazing television to make amazing podcasts off of.
True.
And we're an ecosystem.
Yes, we are constantly just evolving.
And as my part of the ecosystem, like I leave it to them to be like,
make the decisions.
Yeah. I'm not your job.
I agree. Do you think Bravo has an issue where they either listen to the fans too much or not at all? And there has to be a very delicate balance about how the audience weighs in on big decisions at a network, because like you said, we think what kind of they want us to think. Right. Like they give people good edits, bad edits. So they're very much in charge of the favoritism, if you will. And either like something will happen and they won't listen to us at all. And it's like, we've been begging you for years. Or they'll just be so like finicky and do what the audience says after 5 minutes. Like,
right.
You have to weigh the Q scores, if you will, lightly, because we're thinking what you want us to
Our
think.
Q scores are a reflection of what you told us. So like literally you could do a whole season of Sandoval doing community service and just going to therapy. And please, no therapy. Like that's one of my least favorite tropes.
Me
but
too.
Like, doing great
You
work,
could make us like him if you wanted to.
saving the turtles.
Yep.
The turts.
Jumping in front of like a bullet for an elderly woman.
Someone has a bad Q score, like you're in charge, you have the power to make it go up. Doesn't mean we need a new person who we might not like at all. At least we're invested.
And then we start fresh, right?
At least we're invested in these villains.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to see what they do there. This is just sort of one of to me, the most interesting things that like is happening and has been happening for a while, and like watching what they do.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for the traders and the Ultimate Girls Trip, because people love that.
And I'm happy for the reality stars. Like,
yep.
Another
continued work.
Yeah. Another life.
A couple 100,000 Instagram followers.
Yep.
That's business.
It looks like fun too, in a castle.
Totally. Alan Cummings.
TV, lights, camera, action, kilts.
Lights, camera, bitch, smile.
And that's our show.
That is our show. Last visual you'll see in this forlorn corner. So thank you so much for, just sticking with it. We really appreciate the YouTube swirlies, the podcast swirlies, and all the swirlies. So thank you so much for listening to The
Swirlies
Toast.
across the globe.
The Millennial Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We are also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places where we do this podcast. Find us, leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, about how stunning, and about how wickedly talented we are.
Love ya. Bye.